Hello, Seiiti Arata. Improve yourself. Are you excited about making a change in your life, but you feel stuck? Maybe you've been trying hard, but you don't seem to move forward. Now, here's something important that you might not realize. Your brain is actually working against you. It sees any kind of change as something dangerous, and that is why even small changes might feel stressful and overwhelming. Your brain is trying to protect you by triggering that fight or flight response, and when that happens, it becomes almost impossible for you to think clearly. You have to just take action. This fight or flight, this response is not just something emotional. It's something that literally shuts down the rational parts of your brain. And that is why even small changes feel impossible, because your brain is perceiving them as threats. Your decision-making abilities, they temporarily switch off, and then you revert automatically to your old, undesirable habits. But here's the good news. You can actually trick your brain into helping you instead of fighting you. And the secret is to start really small. I know this sounds a little bit like unusual advice, right? Here in Japan, people have a special name for this, of making small changes. They call it Kaizen. And Kaizen is about making tiny improvements, just one small step at a time. Because when you try to make big changes too quickly, your brain gets scared. And it doesn't like, it feels like a threat, and then it stops you. But when you make really, really small changes, your brain doesn't even notice. And suddenly, things that once seemed impossible now feel easy, enjoyable, totally doable. If you want a step-by-step process to make positive changes and work with me, you can visit the link arata.sc/planning your life. We're gonna do a series of activities together. But let me start asking you a question. Have you ever noticed feeling stressed, feeling anxious, even when you're making positive changes? It could be something small, like choosing a healthier food, or something big, like starting a new job. That stress happens because your brain wants you to stick to your familiar habits. Your subconscious mind thinks that those habits are keeping you safe. And every time you try something new, your subconscious mind panics, and it tries to pull you back into your comfort zone. Clinical psychologist Nicole Lepera, she explains that this happens exactly, she has a book, How to Do the Work. And she shows that your subconscious mind creates patterns based on thoughts and behaviors that repeat most often. And these automatic patterns become your default settings. Your subconscious mind thinks that defaults are keeping you safe, and every time you're trying to change them, your brain creates anxiety or discomfort to try to pull you back into your old familiar habits. The tiny steps are different. They don't set off your internal alarm. Every win gives you confidence. For example, it could be something so small, so simple, like cleaning just one single drawer, drinking one extra glass of water. Makes everything easier, these small successes, and that helps you to build momentum. And eventually, these new behaviors become natural, they become automatic, right? Soon you have a new habit formed. And eventually, you no longer desire the habit you're trying to get rid of. And this is exactly how experts explain habit formation. I already mentioned them in our Arata Academy channel many times. You can take a look at James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits. There is also Beiji Fogg. Yeah, he's in Stanford's Behavior and Design Lab. He's the author of Tiny Habits. I also covered that one. And they are researchers that discovered that the secret to build long-term change is taking extremely small steps that are easy and enjoyable. And these tiny actions quickly build momentum, they become automatic, and they create lasting improvements over time. So, let's take this into practice right now. Think about something specific that you want to change in your life. Have that? Okay, good. Now, think about one sweet, gentle, non-threatening question that helps you thinking about that change in a new way. It can be For example, if your goal is to get healthier, you could ask, okay, what is one tiny improvement that I can make about my eating habits this week? And then you write that question right now. Next, think about one extremely small action that you can take today. And then you make it ridiculously easy. If your goal is to become, let's say, more organized, maybe you could just clean one drawer. And do that, write that tiny action right now. Here's another powerful tip. Instead of trying to tackle your biggest problems, start by fixing the smallest issues first. Because when you handle the tiny problems right away, you gain more confidence. And you also prevent small issues from growing into larger ones. And this strategy is especially useful when you're facing big challenges. Maybe you're dealing with debt, or you're feeling overwhelmed at work. And if you try to fix everything at once, that usually doesn't work. But if you go and pay the smallest bill first, and then replying to one important email right now, these are things that will give you a sense of control, and that tiny action will create motivation for you to do the next step. So let's try this together right now. Think about one big challenge again. What is one small, easy to solve issue that is related to that challenge? You have to write it down, and then you're going to be solving one tiny issue today. Another important way for you to make your brain work in the right way is to ask the right questions. Your brain automatically tries to answer questions, even if you're not realizing that. But the questions that are too big, they can scare you, they can cause anxiety. But if you ask yourself gentle, manageable questions each day, it's going to be so much better. If you're trying to smoke less, ask yourself, what can I do today to smoke fewer cigarettes? Ask what instead of why questions, because why questions might lead you into negativity. If you ask, why do I smoke so much? It's going to make you feel worse. But if you ask, what can I do today to smoke just a little bit less? That will help you to move toward good solutions. So let's do this right now. Think about a change that you want to make. Write down that gentle question that you want to see happening in a friendly, useful way. And then we talk about visualization. Did you know your brain doesn't really tell the difference between imagining something and actually doing that? When you're clearly visualizing yourself taking a small action, your brain becomes more comfortable doing that in real life. But here's the trick. Just don't imagine everything going perfectly. You can also imagine yourself calmly overcoming your obstacles in a realistic way. Imagine yourself handling your challenges in a way that will build you confidence, the strength. Let's do that. So let's practice the visualization right now. Close your eyes for 30 seconds and imagine yourself doing one tiny action, one of those that you wrote today. And you do that confidently. If you see a small challenge along the way, you just keep on going. Right, good. When you start taking action, take small steps, tiny actions that feel safe, that feel easy actions that you actually do. If you want to become less critical of yourself, you can start simply by writing down one good thing that you did today. Want to be happier? Maybe 1 minute enjoying your morning coffee. So let's commit to action right now. Look again at the action that you wrote. Did you do it today? If it feels a little bit challenging, you can break it down into even smaller steps, so it becomes ridiculously easy. There's another secret to lasting change, which is using tiny rewards. Big rewards can stress you out. They can make you forget about enjoying the process itself. For example, if you reward yourself with a huge vacation after you lose weight, you might start taking unhealthy shortcuts just to get the reward. And then, after the reward, your motivation might disappear. Be careful. So instead of that, reward yourself in small ways immediately after you complete each tiny step. If your tiny action was eating a healthy breakfast today, Reward yourself with 5 relaxing minutes doing something that you really enjoy. Small rewards make the process itself more satisfying. Psychologists Edward Deci and Richard Ryan, I already talked about them, they studied this extensively in their self-determination theory. It's a research that proves that big external rewards actually reduce your long-term motivation. And they showed clearly that small rewards, especially ones that help you to feel good about what you're doing, they are the secret to maintaining motivation and creating habits that last. So, write down, right now, one tiny reward that you can give yourself after completing today's tiny action. It's very simple, it's very enjoyable. And finally, start noticing small details in your life, your daily life. You know, your daily behaviors, they happen automatically without you even thinking about them. By paying attention to small details, you'll discover easy opportunities to improve. This mindfulness helps you to enjoy each moment rather than just waiting for the big goals of your life to arrive and make you happy. So today, make a point of noticing small details around you. What little adjustments can you make to make your day a little bit easier, more enjoyable? Write down what you observed today. Did you like that? Are you ready to start? So let me do a quick summary of these steps. Number 1, look at your daily question. Question every morning. Number 2, spend 30 seconds visualizing yourself actually performing that tiny action, including overcoming small obstacles. Number 3, make this ridiculously easy, tiny action today. Number 4, solve the problem right now to gain momentum. And number 5, immediately reward yourself in a small way after you complete your tiny action. Number 6, pay attention to the small details. Make one small adjustment, one small improvement to make your day better. Did you like that? Do you think that makes sense? So, to work with me and the Arata Academy team with interactive activities, you can go to the link arata.se/planning your life, and we're going to be starting today. The truth is that huge, dramatic changes, they rarely last. But consistent steps, they always work. So don't be scared of something overwhelming. Just do tiny steps, and they can really change your whole life.